What is up, guys? It is Sleepy in Savannah today doing a video on my preparation for next week's USPSA shooting competition. So we are back out on the range. I know it's been a while. This is our first time in the new year being back out on the range, and we are just covering some clips. A lot of it's going to be me talking to the camera and doing some shoots, but some of it will be iPhone recorded clips of me and my buddies practicing tomorrow and me talking over it for the shooting competition next weekend, which then I'll have them record and do a comprehensive breakdown of it. I'm just showing you guys with this range what I do to practice for USPSA. Okay guys, welcome back. So as you can see today, I only have 5 targets set up, and I ran out of staples, not targets, but staples for my stapler gun. I bought the wrong ones, which is amazing, but like classic. So that is actually a great way to kind of show you guys or make a point that you don't need a lot of targets to practice the skills necessary for USPSA. First of all, some of the stages don't have a lot of targets. From what I've seen online, I've only shot 2 competitions. This one will be my 3rd in the USPSA format. I've done a lot of steel challenge. They don't have a lot of targets within themselves, but the main point I'm trying to make to you today right now with these string of clips is you don't need a lot of targets to practice good skills in competition. As long as you're practicing multiple different aspects of competitive shooting. So for example, in this string, and I'll do stuff to show you guys, you'll always see how the draw. We can do hands up, we can do down here, we can do all sorts of stuff. And from the draw, we have a close target, which I can even modify. I might have to move the camera angle, do it so I have to hit it here, and then do a movement, shoot this target, and engage the rest of these targets here. So there's movement in there. I can mandatory a reload somewhere. Like let's say in between, after I shoot my 3rd target, I have to reload. There's just a lot you can do even now, especially with multiple targets at different ranges. It's really a good string to practice. So off the rip, I'm gonna do my hands on the board like this is what I'm gonna practice first. And rules for this shoot is I can shoot this target and I can peek out and shoot that far target. So the one all the way back there. Once I'm done shooting that, I have to come around here and hit these 3. All right, and this will just be a quick little warm-up round. I am pretty warm. This isn't a cold start. I just filmed the headshot video, which I'm not sure, or the hostage headshot video. I'm not sure when that's gonna come out to y'all, but I just filmed that. So I've been filming for a bit now. So a lot of rounds downrange, but I'm pretty committed to preparing for this competition. That's also why there's no hostages out there, because I'm sick of shooting hostages. Or no. Whoa, no. I didn't shoot the hostage. No. I saved the hostages. I shot them a few times, but that's practice. They're not real hostages. All right, let's get it. So hands on the wall, pull. We'll say I have to be outside this line right here, this little stick, and engage that target, and then one more, the far one over here. All right, well, yeah, let's do that. All right, let's get it. Ten shots, 10 targets. Not the flex. 7.57. I just got mud all on my shoe. Water straight in my socks. That's amazing. That's the best part of all this. I really need to invest in good range boots. All right, on the close target, went a little fast off the rip. Alpha, Charlie. Okay. On this target right here, that's only hung up by 1. Charlie, Delta. Okay. Delta, Charlie on this one right here, which you guys can see me. So a big thing I struggle with in USPSA is the movement, as you guys probably can observe. Okay, here, by the way, just alpha on the far one. So I took my time with this target and it shows. The rest of the targets, I was like, nah, next target, next target. So I need to slow down on these two, and I can honestly speed up on that one a little bit. But the biggest thing, like I was saying, with USPSA is my movement. Alpha here, so it did a good job. So I think 2, 3, 5 alphas, 3 Charlies, 2 deltas. Yep, that's about right. So on this next run, I've identified I struggle with the movement. I think from here, I'm gonna start like this. Move out. Nope. See, it's all about figuring out the movement. Move out, shuffle in, shoot, 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 transition. And I think transition here, nah. And this is all about walking the stage. So from here, plant, yeah, all right, I got it. And that might not be good. I'm not a great shooter. Very entry-level shooter. I'm a D to C shooter. I'm unclassified. I've only shot 1 classifier, so don't have a classification in the system. I'm learning. 10 shots though, so I'm not gonna have to do a reload on this, which is nice, but we'll get into that. 8.29, so a lot slower than my last one. Went through one of these magazines. We're doing good training. So today also, just for everybody's essay, I am shooting 2 alphas. All right, I am only shooting about 100 rounds, but you'll see how quick that goes. Okay, so not a bad string. Let's hit it one more time, this time, just to kind of demonstrate. I'm gonna hit a reload, all right? So we'll do a reload in between the barrier. And I didn't do what I said. I did the side shuffle, which I shouldn't have done, but I think that's better. I think if that's my natural instinct, I go with it. So let's do this with a reload under 10 seconds. Let's go for it. Thought I hurt somebody. Scary. Lost my dot. 9.84. Dirty magazines. What they're made. So unfortunately, that'll be my last run on camera. I do plan on shooting the rest of this magazine, this magazine, and I got a whole nother one here. You guys will see some of the other clips from tomorrow up here in a second, but for now, that is all. Okay guys, so we are off the flat range now. Welcome to my apartment. I know you can't see it, but it's cozy. Make yourself comfortable. So in this portion of the video, I'm going to be reviewing a handful of clips, about 6, of some training I did yesterday, today being Monday when this video will hopefully be uploaded, and then about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I think this video is from mid-December or late December, of me training, same group, same people I'm shooting the competition with this upcoming weekend, Saturday, so less than a week from now. And for some context clues on this clip I'm about to play, in these next 3 clips, we left our Chinese knockoff IPSC targets at home, so I'm utilizing some huge cardboard targets you can see here on the right, and 2 steels you can see are on the left. So the drill I'm running is from the surrender position, if I remember correctly, step to the left, engage both targets, run and engage these 2 targets. This drill's good. I think my thinking was behind it at the time was I wanted to practice shooting targets that are about 20 meters away and then moving very quickly and changing my rate of fire to rapid fire with these 2 targets. So without rambling too much, let's get into it.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
So, as seen in that video, we are following USPSA rules. In USPSA, they have poppers, not really necessarily steel targets that hang like that, but each steel target got 1 shot, and then the 2 cardboard targets got 2 shots apiece. So that's 4 targets right there, 2 targets there, 6 target string. This is what I was kind of talking about on the flat range. These drills are really good when you have small round counts. You can really focus on what you're doing, and obviously just looking at a cost-effective standpoint are very cost-effective because you can run it many times. This 6-round string we could run 10, 20 times pretty easily versus a 20-round string or a 20-round drill that requires 20 rounds. You might have to take makeup shots in that. You're more likely to take makeup shots in those drills as opposed to drills like this where it's a lot less likely. You can get a lot more training value out of it. And actually, yesterday when we were on the range, that's something we ran into. We were making the drills too complicated, and you'll kind of see that. And when a more experienced friend of ours came out to the land, it's actually the land or the range owner. He was like, really being realistic. If you wanted to get a ton of training value, you would cut down on the amount of targets. And we'll kind of get into that in a bit. So for this drill, I liked my movement, and some of you guys who are better at this than me, definitely comment in the comments below. I liked my movement from once I had engaged these two targets to the barrels over here. I like that, good strides. The ground wasn't wet. My movement in some of these other clips are going to look trash because this ground right here is going to be all muddy. But I like that, and I feel like I did a good job engaging those two targets, kind of following through. However, with the steel, I don't like the way I moved from the barricade, and I'll kind of play it back here.
Shooter ready. Stand by.
That movement, I feel like there's a lot of wasted energy economy or a lot of wasted time with that like choppy movement, and I think there's a lot to improve. But honestly, fun drill. We'll move into the next clip. So here we are on the next clips right here. No. Okay, so this is the same drill, kind of from another angle. You can see I am in a very similar situation. I think I'm starting a little to the left, maybe even looking at the steel targets. Something I notice watching these drills back, when I run towards the barrels, I think shooting, I violate the 180 rule prevalent in USPSA. This range is very controlled on very, obviously wilderness property, so I can kind of get away with that out here, but I do think I violate 180 in this drill, just calling myself out and holding myself accountable. But similar drill, my movement in this is terrible though. I think maybe because the ground was getting wetter or this clip comes chronologically earlier, so I'm not as warm. But let's run into it.
Bye.
I don't like this movement at all. I think if I'm shooting this in competition, really the issue would be I'd have to go right to left to not violate, and there'd probably be a hard stop here at this barrel. Even though I've seen a lot of competitions where you can run really close to the barrel, this really is just trying to train moving and then shooting on the move, because at this range and targets this big, you can, just kind of go wild on it. And that's really what we were working. Okay, so final clip from this training session. It was raining, obviously. It looks pretty miserable out there. This drill I like a lot. So to kind of give a premise, there's steel. It's hard to see. Honestly, the image isn't great because it's raining, and these are recorded on iPhones. But steel there, paper, paper. So the drill is steel from this position through the window, I think, if I can remember correctly, steel. If not, from this firing position right here, this piece of obstacle, and then from the barrel there's a paper right there and a paper right there that each get 2 shots. So let's watch it. So a couple of things, honestly not a great run. First of all, here at this firing position, instead of getting on a knee, I really should have squatted down, kind of like I'm squatting, like with my butt up in the air, and shot through it like that. We talk about that in some of the drills that we did yesterday. This is obviously 2 weeks ago in December, and that we decided was more efficient for shooting through obstacles like this. And this makeup shot is not fast enough. I miss, and I can literally pause in between shots and it wasn't a difficult reaction time thing. It's too much time between these makeup shots. And then here I throw an extra shot at the paper. I don't know if that's because I missed or not. And then 2 shots here. I think I did miss, and that's shooting on the move. So obviously a very difficult skill that we have to work on for a competition. I don't know why I threw an extra one. Actually, I was pretty stationary there, so maybe I just miscounted, and that's a big waste of time. So something else to look at. And that's the last clip for this day. So obviously you can see very low string counts. Now let's kind of move into the more intense training we did yesterday. So this string... So this string is kind of wild. It starts with a draw on this target, I think about 25 meters, and then there's a lot of movement. Let's just watch it and then kind of talk about it here.
Shooter, make ready.
Also, I'm sorry about the camera angle. Also recorded with iPhones, but this was yesterday. This is in between the clips you saw me on the flat range doing, and now me sitting here talking about it.
Stand by.
Okay, for the record, my friends were giving me shit who you saw in another video. That's my shirt tucked in, first off all. Let's address that. Second, it was super muddy, so that's why my movement is bad. And I was wearing square-toed boots. I don't know why I did that, but I did. You can tell it's a different time. I'm all dressed up in winter attire, and it's cold. So it's 6 targets. At the first firing position, you draw on this one about 25 meters, then steal in between the barrel and the piece of obstacle or piece of cover, terrain, whatever you want to call it. From there, you shift to the end of that obstacle and you shoot a target that's kind of far away and then a close target, and then you run to the last one and you shoot 3 there, 2 with hostages, and kind of a long shot on the hostage. So every time I ran through this, I didn't miss. But as you can see, we're going to kind of play it, and I'm going to talk about it. I had a lot of issues moving. First of all, on the draw, I was way too slow. Like, I couldn't find my dot, just bad. It means more dry firing before competition, but really just more dry firing in general.
Stand by.
That's like 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds of me waiting to get that first shot off. And honestly, need to work on that, especially with further distances, finding the dot. Especially with nerves. Like, I was nervous now because this is a more intense string, but in competition, it can be way more complex than this, and you guys will see that next week in next week's video. The steel target's right there. Yeah, then I'm engaging this one and this one. I think here my movement wasn't terrible, but I don't think I overcleared the cover, so honestly not bad. But I have an issue with that over there where I move way closer than I need to be and spend too much time moving where I can really just plant and start shooting. Oh, we did mandate a reload between these 2 covering positions. So that's something that you should do when you're training for competition. We were talking about it. In competition, you're going to have to reload at some point. And we are doing what modern tactical shooting classifies as a gamey reload, which is where you've 1 in the chamber, you drop a mag with 4 or 5, maybe 2 rounds left in it, with still ammunition in it, and you reload with a full mag off your belt. That's what we were training, because in competition, with double the amount of targets you see here, they usually will force you to reload like that, and that's the quickest way to do it. You're not going to do a slide lock reload, or hopefully you don't do a slide lock reload. If you plan your stage poorly, that's just a bad idea. So let's kind of finish it. As you can see here, I move way up way too much. Really, I could have probably put stops like right here along this line and still been able to see all my targets. However, I didn't miss and I didn't shoot the hostage. So, okay, so in this clip, this is me running it again. We'll kind of watch it and see what I did wrong. I'll just kind of break it down and then we'll move on to the next clip.
Stand by.
Draws better, could be faster. I did not ND. Let me play that back for you guys. Just weird the way I paused it. I think the movement there was slow again, but I like this angle. I didn't overexpose myself to the targets for like tactical training, and I didn't waste too much movement by moving too far. However, could have been quicker from in between that target to here. And I'm also going into my reload, which is good, keeping the pistol down range. I didn't ND there either. I mean, I kind of showed you guys how that happened in the last part, but I'll play it again because I might get comments. So hit the reload there. That was pretty crisp. Big fan of that. Here, shooting better at this angle. Let's just see how I do. So at that ending port, first of all, maybe it just skipped up funny. I don't remember missing any of these targets. I just hit the berm and skipped up. Ricochet's wild, so please be careful out there. Here's better. I think after that first run, we were talking a lot about my movement, so I was able to kind of use this to anchor, to kind of move into position and stop and plant my feet and start shooting. So obviously a lot better. And running complex stuff like this is helpful for competition, honestly gets you in the mindset, but at the end of the day, you're going to see the most practical improvement with the drills we were running when it was raining out in those first 3 clips. So this is the last clip I have. The drill's a little different. On my left, it's going to be 3 targets right on top of each other, super close, that we have to shoot in that square barricade again. You'll see it. Steel here, paper here, which you have to shoot from this position, and then 3 more targets pinned up here, or actually it's 4 pinned up here on the right. You'll see it. This is another string we built. A lot of targets, so high round count. We ended up building 3 strings that we ran a bunch. The first one you saw, this one and another one, but we didn't get any videos of it. It was a big training day, about 200 rounds to 300 rounds. Honestly, pretty good for competition. If you guys are going to competition, I'd recommend, especially with a group of people, training in a group is always great. Going out there, building complex stages that test a lot, and stressing your round count. So from here, different starting position, draw, working that aspect, and we're going to do a reload. But this is more speed shooting than it is distance, which we were kind of doing in the last one. I'm better at distance and accurate shooting than I am speed, so this drill is very important for me.
Stand by.
So see, super slow on that. Over here, I do take a knee, and that's something we discussed. The bending over is something bending over, that's funny. We discussed after this clip was taken, and especially at those clips 2 weeks ago, I had not talked about that. So poor position there. I think I overextended the cover on the right. So here, bending over would have been a lot better. I still would have been able to see the targets. The way the targets were set up, there's a hostage right here, so you had to do like a chevron. So like start here, chevron up to that target, come down. Because I think there was a hostage here too. From here, 2, and then 1 on steel, that's what you do. Moving into that position wasn't bad. And then moving out of this position and reloading, honestly, not bad. Because I didn't waste a lot of time. Just here, overextended. I really didn't have to move this far. I could have straddled this piece of wood, and that would have been a lot better. So that's kind of what I've been doing for training. Hopefully you'll see some results in that comp coming up this weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something from this. This is kind of just showing my thought process and my process and what I'm doing.